Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something a ton of us experience, but might not even have a name for. It's called high-functioning anxiety, and we're going to talk about how to start managing it naturally.
So let's just start with a quick question. Do you ever feel like on the outside you're crushing it? You know, hitting all your deadlines, staying organized, you're the person everyone can count on. But on the inside, you're wrestling with this constant buzzing current of worry. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are in exactly the right place.
You know that feeling of being a duck, just totally calm on the surface, but underneath you're paddling like crazy? Well, that feeling actually has a name. And like with anything, just being able to name it, to understand what it is, that's the first real step toward getting a handle on it.
So what is this whole paradox? It's looking successful on the outside while feeling completely overwhelmed on the inside. What's so tricky is that, unlike some other anxiety disorders, it doesn't always look like a problem to other people. In fact, that anxious energy can sometimes fuel incredible productivity. But here's the thing, that kind of fuel, it is not sustainable. The internal cost is incredibly high, and it almost always leads to total exhaustion and burnout.
All right, take a look at this list. Do any of these just jump out at you? That perfectionism, the total inability to switch off your brain, or maybe even the physical stuff, like those tension headaches that just won't quit? If you're sitting there nodding along, I just want you to know you are so not alone. And the really good news is there are powerful, natural ways to start managing all of this.
Okay, so how do we actually tackle this? Let's build our own natural toolkit. I want you to think of it as a personal set of strategies that all work together, not just to cope, but to build genuine resilience from the inside out. So, we're going to build our toolkit around these 4 main ideas. It's a complete system for our well-being. We'll start with how to calm our thoughts, then we'll get into fueling our bodies the right way, reshaping our daily habits, and finally, finding our own unique path to balance.
First up, let's tackle the source of all that noise, that busy brain of ours. This part is all about simple techniques that can directly interrupt that cycle of overthinking and worry.
The whole goal of mindfulness is really simple. It's to pull our focus out of the what-ifs of the future and just anchor it right here in this present moment. And these practices, they seem almost too simple, but they are incredibly effective. Deep breathing, for example, is like sending a direct message to your nervous system that says, hey, we're safe. It's okay to stand down and relax. Let's zoom in on one specific technique called box breathing. This is a super powerful tool. I mean, it's used by everyone from Navy SEALs to surgeons to stay calm under immense pressure. That simple, rhythmic pattern of inhaling, holding, exhaling, and holding again, it instantly activates your body's natural relaxation response. And this is where it gets really, really cool. These practices aren't just about feeling calm. They are physically changing your brain. Think about that sudden jolt of panic or dread. That's your amygdala, your brain's little alarm bell, just ringing off the hook. Well, meditation has been shown to literally turn down the volume on that alarm.
And at the very same time, it's strengthening your prefrontal cortex. You can think of this part as the CEO of your brain. It's in charge of rational thinking, good decisions, and keeping your emotions in check. So, you're quieting the alarm system while beefing up the part of your brain that can calmly assess the situation. It's a win-win.
So what's the bottom line with all this? Mindfulness helps shut down that constant mental chatter, that mind-wandering network that gets stuck on a loop. It gives you the power to catch those anxious thoughts before they spiral out of control.
All right, so we've started calming the mind from the top down. Now let's talk about supporting it from the ground up. And that really starts with what's on your plate. It turns out what you eat plays a massive role in your anxiety levels. And this slide really shows the two sides of that coin, right? On one hand, you've got foods that help create steady, stable energy and support a good mood. On the other hand, you've got things like caffeine and sugar that send our energy on a wild roller coaster ride. And trust me, that physical roller coaster can feel a whole lot like an emotional one. And yeah, there are some natural supplements that can also give your system a little extra support. Adaptogens like ashwagandha can help your body better manage stress, while minerals like magnesium are crucial for a balanced nervous system. But, and this is a big but, you always want to talk to a healthcare provider before you start adding new supplements to your routine. Okay, now let's talk about the foundation. These are the daily habits that day by day create a really strong, resilient base for your mental well-being. Listen, quality sleep is absolutely 100% non-negotiable if you have an anxious mind. A tired brain is a worried brain, plain and simple. Following these simple rules,
Especially putting the phone away an hour before bed can make a world of difference.
And then there's exercise. Honestly, this is one of the most effective tools we have. It's not just about your physical health. It's about literally metabolizing stress hormones like cortisol and boosting those feel-good neurotransmitters. Find a movement you actually enjoy and just do it.
Okay, this one is huge. A classic trait of high-functioning anxiety is that deep pull to overcommit, to say yes to everything and everyone. That's why practicing boundaries is a critical skill. Learning to say no is not selfish. It is absolutely essential for preventing burnout and protecting your own energy.
And finally, this might just be the most important piece of the whole puzzle. You are not supposed to manage all of this alone. Support from other people and kindness toward yourself are completely vital.
Connecting with people you love, that literally pumps your body with oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which reduces stress. Therapy can give you targeted tools to work with. And self-compassion, that's the secret weapon against that harsh inner critic that so often fuels anxiety. It's just about treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend.
You know, the big takeaway from all of this is that managing anxiety isn't about finding some magic cure. It's an active, ongoing process of creating balance by weaving these small, natural changes into your life, day after day.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to really think about. What's just one small step you can take today to start creating that balance for yourself? Maybe it's doing 5 minutes of that box breathing, or maybe it's just turning off your phone an hour before bed tonight. Improving your well-being doesn't start with some giant life overhaul. It starts with a single intentional action. What will yours be?